Hello and welcome to Crypto News. My name is Claudio and this is CryptoChain, the channel where I do crypto news, reviews, tutorials and interviews. And in today's video, we'll take a quick look at the cryptocurrency prices on CoinMarketCap, as always, to kind of give you my opinion, my thoughts on the prices in the last 24 hours. And we'll also check out the Bitcoin chart to kind of tell you my novice opinion on where I think the price could go and what may happen if it does get to that price as well. I have taken some time off from crypto, as you're probably aware if you've been following this channel. It's been more than 3 weeks since I did the last video. I did want to learn trading properly. I've been watching a lot of trading videos, and not necessarily crypto trading videos, but like stocks trading, because a lot of the stock traders out there on YouTube do have a lot of informational videos on how to trade, things that you should be watching out for with the candles, how the moving averages work and all these sort of things. So basic trading concepts, but which help you a lot, right? And all the interesting things about indicators and the fact that you shouldn't be using all these different indicators, right? But anyway, once we talk about the prices, we will be taking a look at 3 articles from the last 24 hours, which I found interesting and I'd like to share with you, of course. The links can be found in the description of the video, as well as the times if you only want to watch some specific topics from these articles. So let's get straight in and see now the price of Bitcoin and alts in general. I mean, it's been spiked so much since the last time I did a video. The last time was like at the beginning of February, and they were just growing and growing and growing, and there was no end in sight, right? And a pullback was really necessary considering the growth that we've had, right? Well, you could argue maybe the growth wasn't that big like the one we had in June of 2019 when it spiked to like 14K or nearly touched 14K, only to come back down very fast. This one was more of a slow trending move, right? So I guess that kind of help to keep the price going up longer, right, rather than just come crashing back down like we've seen before. But as we can see, we're trading at 8,673. It did come back a bit to 8,800 earlier this morning before coming back down again. Once it pulled back to below 85.50, I think it was like 85.30 was the low of the day. We'll take a look on Binance in a bit. But as we can see across the board, everything just came crashing. Even like Bitcoin SV, which has pumped a lot recently, right? We've seen it go to almost 400 bucks, is now 215 as well. Binance coin 1890 did go to over 23 bucks as well. I mean, if you've been following this, you know what's going on, right? You've been following it. Neo $11.18, Ontology 69 cents, so it was down to like 67 on Binance. And it's really interesting because every time Ontology goes above $1, it gets to like 120, 130, and then it just can't seem to break that resistance area. There seems to be some strong resistance area there, maybe because so many people are accumulating these low prices here between the 50 and 60 cents range. I would expect Ontology, I mean, if Bitcoin keeps dropping, I would expect Ontology to probably go to as low as 62, maybe 63 cents. I could be wrong, right? It may go even lower, but it usually goes around this area if Bitcoin stabilizes above 7,000, and I do expect Bitcoin to stay above 7,000 in my honest opinion. Of course, Bitcoin can do what it wants, right? Now let's look at the biggest winners, and that's Swipe and Huobi token, Huobi, which is the exchange token. And we've got the biggest losers that are on MySgo, the exchange token. Let's have a look at the prices. So I'm here on Binance. Okay, and I pulled out this chart. This is the one day chart on the basics, right? So normally what happens here, and I've seen this with other assets, not necessarily with Bitcoin, right, with other crypto tokens and coins, is that in various time frames, right, when the price comes back down from going around the moving average, as we can see here, this is the 7-day daily moving average, right? 7-day moving average, the yellow one here. And the purple one is the 25-day. It does actually tell you here when you scroll up here, as you can see on the top hand side here. And this one, the red one, is the 99-day moving average. And what happens most of the time is the price does come down just to touch the 99-day moving average. But you may argue that on different time frames, it would touch it on different time frames, and then we may see some kind of push up, right? So for example, if we go to the 12-hour, I know that the last time when I checked this, where I was hoping something may happen was around the 9200 area here. When I saw the price starting to pull back, I thought, okay, well, we're probably going to hit on the 12-hour chart this area, and then we're going to bounce right back up. But unfortunately, this didn't happen, and we got rejected, as you can see. So the next chart to check is the 1-day chart. So here, because this is more of a straight line, we might get lucky, right? If it doesn't get rejected, we may see a bounce around the 8300 area. Maybe it'll peekaboo below to like 8250. It is possible, right? Only for it to come bouncing back up here. Or if it does get rejected, we may just see it go like down, right? But there's also this possibility here, right? It doesn't really look like a head and shoulders, but if it is a head and shoulder, right, this might be the first shoulder, this might be the head, the 10,500 area, and then maybe it's going to form another shoulder here if it comes bouncing, right? It may just go up to like 9,500, 9,600 probably, and then come back down even more. There's also this possibility too, right? We got to keep this in mind, but I really do think that we're going to touch this area here on the 1-day chart. So we could see one more day perhaps, maybe sometime tomorrow, when we'll get confirmation if it gets to this point and then bounces back up. So we'll have to see if that actually happens. But yeah, this is pretty much my thought on it. And of course, all the alts are suffering because of that. Because as you know, when Bitcoin pulls, all the alts pull even more. And then when Bitcoin pumps, normally the alts drop right at the beginning. When Bitcoin pumps, if it pumps too quickly, the alts drop. And then the alts just come back really quickly and they follow Bitcoin, right? And sometimes they go up even higher. We've seen that happen many times. But let's move on and talk about the news here, and that's about Revolut. So I don't know if you've heard about Revolut. If you're in Europe and you're watching this, you probably have heard of Revolut. Many people have heard of Revolut. It is basically like a bank card, like kind of a prepaid bank card that you can use. There is a bank behind them, right, to obviously store your funds, but you can deposit using your bank account directly onto the Revolut account, which is a digital bank pretty much, right? And you can receive payments, you can make payments, you can exchange into different currencies, which is a very good feature, and that's what a lot of people in Europe use it for. And you can buy cryptocurrencies, but you don't actually own the crypto. This is the bad thing about Revolut, and I know that their customer support has been asked this many times from various people on their website. If you go to the Revolut website, and people ask them, when are you going to make cryptocurrency deposits and withdrawals available to people so that they can actually own the crypto, right? So for example, if you want to sell your crypto, right now, let's say you're a trader and you want to sell for euros or for dollars, you want to be able to do that fairly quickly, right? Rather than having to wait for the transfer to go to some exchange, which allows you to sell it, and then for it to reach your bank, which may take like more than 5 hours, depending on your country, maybe a few days, who knows. But it would really be good if Revolut would open this doorway to the cryptocurrency space. I know people are asking for that, but then some are saying, well, if Revolut were to do that, then they'd also have to handle the money laundering part, because you're going to have a lot of people trying to take advantage of this, right? The fact that they're only checking your ID, and there are people that could use fake IDs, right? You gotta be realistic here. People that could use fake IDs just to open up a Revolut account and transfer money across like cryptocurrencies and then sell them for euros, because you can use the there is a limitation, right? So you can use the ATM and you can withdraw, like here in Spain, for example. I think in most countries in Europe, it's 200 euros worth of cash that you can withdraw from an ATM with a basic account. Then they also have another account which allows you, it's like a premium account that you pay a monthly fee for, which allows you to withdraw up to 400 euros worth of cash from ATMs. But you can make payments for as much as you want. There is a limit of 30,000 euros per year, I know, in the account, and then anything over 30,000 if you deposit or if you withdraw, say from another company, or if somebody pays you 30,000, then you pretty much reached your limit for the whole year. So this is just something to keep in mind. But basically, this news article states that Revolut will make crypto available in 50 states. So like I was saying, you can actually buy crypto, but you don't own the crypto because you can only use it within the Revolut app. So you can send the crypto that you buy to other people that are on Revolut, right, via their phone number. If you have them as your contacts, then you can just send them, right, the crypto. But Revolut owns it, so who knows if they really buy the crypto, right? Maybe they don't even buy any crypto. Maybe they're just apparently they're using a Bitstamp, which is another crypto exchange that also allows fiat buys and sells. But I don't know if you actually own the crypto, to be honest. I find it hard to believe. I think it's just a way for them to kind of keep control of the funds, but then kind of give you the the opportunity to make gains, right? Because obviously people buy when it's low, sell when it's high, that kind of thing, right? The fees are quite high, to be honest, when you sell, so do expect that too. Now, Revolut is coming to the smartphone near you with an array of cryptocurrencies before tax day, having just raised $500 million on a $5.5 billion valuation. Revolut is one of the biggest fintechs in Europe. Revolut is a neobank, simply a bank without the expense and convenience of physical branches or the headache of licensing. So here they're saying that they're well established in Europe, like I was telling you earlier when I explained it. You can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and XRP on there. And of course, all the different fiat currencies that they have. Again, if you're in Europe, you can switch between all these different fiat currencies from different countries, like from euro to something else, for example, at the day rate. So that is pretty cool because you can see the price move in real time. So you can pick, like, for example, when the price pumps and you get more of that other currency, you can just sell at that time, right? Of course, you pay the fee, but it's just something, that kind of flexibility that it gives you, right? And then when you use it in that other country, when you make payments in that other country, once you exchange the funds, then you don't pay any fees. It's treated as if you're using a bank card from that other country. So that is pretty cool about Revolut, right? I really like that. It's a shame they just don't let you own the crypto. But anyway, they want to get into the US, so they want to be offering. They're actually, the general manager for North America went to discuss the offering in the US. What they're going to do, let me go here. Where did I see the part here? So yeah, they basically want to service all the clients in all 50 US states, right? So that is a lot of people, right? In all 50 US states, you'll be able to use Revolut. So I think we're going to see more and more users of Revolut, but I wonder how they're going to start verifying your account and if that's going to work differently in the US, because it just seems to be stricter over there, right? Not like in Europe. So who knows? But yeah, there's nothing here mentioned about them letting you, I mean, crypto are making them money, but they're not showing you how to actually, or if they're going to create this feature which will allow you to send and receive crypto directly from your wallet, for example, to the Revolut app, like I said, because that would be pretty cool. And again, one of the other features that they have is if you have crypto and you don't have enough fiat and you go to the shop and you want to buy something which is worth more than the value of the fiat that you have, more than the balance, then crypto gets sold, like a specific amount of crypto gets sold at market rate immediately to cover this cost, right? So you don't get like a refused or a declined transaction when you make the purchase. That is actually a pretty cool feature from Revolut. But that's it from Revolut. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, I just want to remind you that if you're new here, please do subscribe to my channel. I would very much appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and enable notifications, okay, to be made aware of the next video that I upload that may interest you. So let's move on and talk about the next news article here, and that is the major crypto exchanges Bitfinex and OKEx hit by service denial attacks. And this was actually updated today. So these are the two top cryptocurrency exchanges that have reported denial of service, DDoS attacks. Basically, somebody's trying to hack them, right? We've seen this happen to Binance. We have not yet seen it happen to KuCoin. And I do expect that KuCoin is probably going to be DDoS as well. Maybe it was already, but I would just be concerned because the question is, if KuCoin gets hacked, and this is an exchange which has been around since 2017, just like Binance. And hey, I have done a tutorial on KuCoin if you're interested, the mobile app. They do have a mobile app. Do check it out on the top right-hand corner. But my concern is if KuCoin does get hacked, will they refund the affected users, right? Because it could happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. This is how it is with crypto exchanges, and that's why you should not keep more than you can afford to lose on an exchange. I mean, even when you're trading, you shouldn't keep that much. Maybe only a certain percentage if you trade, because obviously if you trade, you need to keep them on exchanges, right? You can't avoid it completely unless it's a decentralized exchange, and in that case, there isn't enough liquidity. You can't really trade. You can only play the swings pretty much. But if you want to be serious about trading, then you do need to keep funds on a centralized exchange for now until the decentralized exchanges become better, get more liquidity and that sort of stuff. But OKEx, which is based in Malta, has apparently suffered 2 attacks. And that's interesting because Binance is also based in Malta. Seems like Malta really is turning into blockchain island, right, with all these different crypto exchanges there. So for two attacks, one Thursday, one today, according to its CEO Jay Howe on his website Weibo account Friday, Howe said the first attack was of a 200 gigabyte severity, but the second had doubled to 400 gigs. Despite the attacks, the exchange's service is largely unaffected. He said OKEx Twitter account has no warnings of interruptions this morning, apart from a brief interlude for a system upgrade for its futures and options trading facility. Apparently more severely affected is Bitfinex, which reported a suspected DDoS attack on Twitter Friday morning UTC time. The Hong Kong headquarter platform's trading services were offline for a period of under an hour, but press time Bitfinex says services are back to normal. And what's interesting is that Binance had some kind of service maintenance too, right? An unannounced service maintenance not too long ago, and people were concerned that Binance was hacked once again, and it wasn't the case apparently, or at least they don't want to tell us. I know that CZ Changpeng Zhao, who's the CEO of Binance, said that you don't need to worry, funds are safe, or SAFU as he calls it, but you never really know, right? Only the people, the insiders know, only the people that work there know, right? If they were really hacked or not. But at least we have seen Binance pay people back. I know that there was some FUD on Twitter not too long ago that when they had that maintenance, the unscheduled maintenance, that Binance are going to be the next Mt. Gox, and that they're going to people are going to lose all their funds on there, right? All these VIP customers, all these everybody, right? Imagine that. Like, that would be pretty horrifying, right? Considering the amount of people trading on Binance, right? It is proven to be a very good exchange, to be honest. It offers a lot of liquidity. There are a lot of pumps and dumps still going on there. Like, for example, we've seen one with the recent IEO, initial exchange offering, called OKEx, which is another exchange in India. They were actually purchased by Binance, and they held an IEO on Binance. So it's kind of suspicious. Like, we're buying a company and then we're hosting an IEO on our exchange to gain more funds. When we own that company, it's like trying to get double the funds, right? In a way. Who knows, right, what's going on there. But I am expecting OKEx, and I think I'm going to do a review on OKEx soon. The one thing that I like about OKEx, and again, this is because, in my personal opinion, I think OKEx is going to bring a lot of gains to people, because we have seen Binance pumping the BNB token many times, right? It has performed better than Bitcoin. In the bear market, you gotta admit it, right? When it comes to the gains, BNB was better. So OKEx, I think, is going to get pumped at some point, again, probably some point in 2020. And my assumption is, I could be wrong about this, but I did say this in my Telegram group as well. I think that at some point, OKEx is going to offer a trading fee discount on Binance. This is just a speculation, right? There's no confirmation on this, nothing. But it's just a speculation on my side, simply because you can now do P2P trading between OKEx and Binance within the Binance exchange. If you log in, you will see the OKEx wallet, and you can switch in between that, right? You can buy USDT, for example, on OKEx and transfer it over to Binance to trade, and vice versa. So the fact that they've got this kind of cross-trading functionality kind of thing, right, the P2P functionality, it gives you that feeling that perhaps they're going to think of some kind of fee structure to kind of use both BNB on OKEx for discounts and WRX, which is the OKEx token, on Binance. So we could potentially see something like that. And I know I'm kind of going off the track here, because we're supposed to be talking about these DDoS attacks, but it just came to my mind, right? Thinking about these pumps and dumps. And now that we're talking about Binance, again, this is how it is with the DDoS attacks. We'll have to see what happens. And let me know in the comments below if you hold any coins or tokens on any of these exchanges, Bitfinex, which is a big one, and OKEx. But we're talking about Binance, right? So Binance delists new batch of crypto trading pairs, and simply because they're saying that there was some risky volatility movements, right, that were going on and things like that. So they've decided to remove a lot of these, right? They've delisted Nebula's GoChain Viacoin, and Viacoin was the one, all in the pairing with the BNB token, but Viacoin was the one which pumped a lot, because apparently some guy managed to take control of a user's API and made a lot of bids. So that was pretty scary what happened that time, right? Again, it had made a lot of money to many people, but apparently Binance have reversed or rolled back the transactions, which meant that if you had made any gains and you didn't withdraw them straight away, you would have lost them anyway, because Binance just rolled back all of your transactions on the Viacoin pairings. So even though the price pumped and you made like 5x, you were like, yes, I made 5x, I jumped, I rode the moonshot, right? I'm gonna make a lot of money. But then you are happy for nothing, because if you held them on Binance, they would have rolled them back. I don't even know if they would have let you withdraw straight away. Perhaps they did, so you had some time frame to do it, and then perhaps if you would have withdrawn, then there's nothing they could have done to you. They could only roll back what you had on Binance. But I'm not entirely sure, because I didn't trade Viacoin that time. I did see the pump, I remember that was some time ago. But yeah, basically this kind of makes me think like, okay, well, this happened, right? And it did cause an unexpected pump. But again, you got to remember that we have oh yeah, they're talking about Bitcoin as well. That was another one. I remember that one as well. I remember that very well, because you could buy it on OKEx and it was 10 times cheaper than on Binance when it got listed on Binance. And then the Bitcoin team suspended the wallet withdrawals, so that you could not send any funds to Binance, because then you could sell into the pump. So this is why people were really pissed off with centralized exchanges at the time. They were like, I'm switching to a DEX, to a decentralized exchange, because I don't like the fact that centralized exchanges can control how I can make gains. And again, people could have taken advantage of this. Of course, the price would have dumped pretty much straight away if people could have done that. But the early movers could have made a lot of money. We got to be honest with ourselves here. And I'm a bit concerned about this, right? Unexpected pumps and stuff. We've seen this with Matic. We've seen this with WazirX, WRX. When it got listed, okay, it was 2 cents was the IEO price, but when it got listed on Binance, it was trading at more or less 4.5, 4.7, between 4.5 and 5 cents, right? That lasted for not even one full day, because later on that day, the price has pumped to 14 cents. So that was a huge pump. Now, isn't that a bit questionable? Could that not be the Binance bots deliberately pumping it to generate FOMO, right? Perhaps, right? But anyway, the volume built like crazy. It was over 50 million USDT in Tether. I remember on the USDT pair when I checked it, and the next day after it dumped to like 10.8, 10.9 cents, it pumped once again to 16 cents. So that is huge. And I remember the exact same thing happening to Matic in 2019 when it got listed on Binance, right? It pumped quite a lot. The volume built up, it dumped a lot, and then it came back the next day because the volume was building. So it's just something, again, not financial advice or anything, but it's just something to keep in mind when we see these kind of big pumps from coin listings on Binance, especially IEOs which have some kind of strong link to Binance. When the volume builds so high, and the price takes a dip, a very big dip, if you were to enter in that moment, in that dip, with a stop loss, of course, in case you're wrong, then it's very likely that the price is going to pump once again, especially while you're sleeping, depending on which part of the world you're in. At least here in Europe, Central European time zone, it was during the night time, right, when people were sleeping, when the pump happened. So it happened both with Matic and with WazirX exactly around the same time, which is interesting, right? So if you check the charts of both, you will see that the pumps happen relatively similar, in a similar fashion, right? The big pump, the initial big pump, then the dump, and then an even bigger pump. So this is what happens. And yeah, this is pretty much it. They're basically delisting the ones that don't consider are providing enough liquidity or that could be manipulated. Even though Binance manipulate the markets themselves, right? It is their exchange. They can do what they want. But that was pretty much it. I've been talking quite a lot. I know it's been some time, so I really felt like I wanted to talk to you about what's been going on. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very, very much for watching. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next video. Take care and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.